YouTube, what is going on? We are live. We are live. Y'all hop into the chat. Today we are going to be talking about how to get 250,000 in the next 45 days in business funding. How to get 250,000 in the next 45 days. Trayvon, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Y'all pass this. Y'all make sure y'all share this with at least 3 people. Y'all drop your name, your business name, which city you chiming in from. We're going to talk about how to get that business funding. Because I've been talking to a lot of people, and there's a lot of people out there who've been taking advantage of you guys. What's going on, Yards? What's up, man? It's been a lot of people taking advantage of y'all in this business credit space. Derek, what's going on, man? So we're gonna talk about it today. I'm looking at 2 different screens. I got YouTube, I got Instagram, but we are talking about how to get 250,000 in the next 45 days. I'm gonna talk to you about what cards to stay away from, or what type of funding to stay away from. I'm gonna tell you what are the top 5 banks you can go to right now today with a brand new company. If you have a brand new company, whether it's an LLC, whether it's an incorporation, don't let people just gas you up on just LLCs either. Depending on your industry, an LLC may not be applicable for you. See, this is why you got to consult experts. Y'all just out here going to get things that don't even apply to you. So we're going to talk about how to get 250,000 over the next 45 days. Let's talk about it because I spent thousands on experts and haven't gotten funded yet. Look, a lot of people, they don't have the data points. You know, are you in a high risk industry? Are you in a high risk industry? What up, Robert? Is your personal credit in good shape? See, nobody is, they just keep telling you you can go get all of this credit while having bad credit. Is your personal credit in shape? Would you even want to get credit with having bad credit? We're going to talk about that here today too. So y'all already know, make sure you share this with at least 3 people. When somebody told me that they've shared this with at least 3 people, then that's when I'll go ahead and proceed. And I'm going to tell you the top 5 banks you can go to right now with a brand new company. John Pete, what's going on? Why is it important to know these things? Because I see so many people who went out there and got set up, you know. Now, I'm going to share something with you guys. I had a call a couple of days ago with the client and said, thank you. And they said, Will, man, I've been following you for years. Okay. Sent it to my fam group chat. Appreciate that, Trayvon. They was like, Will, man, I've been following you for years. I've been watching you since YouTube, since FICO Friday, since this and that and that and that and that. But man, I went in and did business with somebody else, and now I'm jammed up. What do I do? I said, besides prayer, let me ask y'all a question. Y'all got to stop listening to 10 different people. Because now I'm not saying what other people are doing is wrong, but does it adhere to the ideology of the end goal you're looking to accomplish? See, let's go back and start, you know, when it comes to, you know, this creative financing space. See, here's something that you may or may not know. If you go back and look in the YouTube world, if you go back and look on the Instagram world, go back to 2019 and start looking at people who you're getting this bad information from and see what they were doing on their social media in 2019. See what they were doing in 2018. See what they were doing in 2017. Most of them had no idea that a lot of these concepts and strategies even existed. See, here's the thing that I often ask people. If somebody taught me a skill set in business, or if they gave me some strategies in business, somebody said they in jail in 2000 in 2019. See, if somebody gave me some concepts that helped me to move the needle in my life, I don't have a reason to go and look and do business with somebody else. But see, what ends up happening is that we seek shiny objects. And so then you find out that Mr. Swaggy B credit guru, and we get so enamored with that, and then we ended up getting jammed up. I just spoke with somebody a couple of days ago who somebody charged them an absorbent amount of money to walk them through getting some funding, and they didn't get anything. Now, here's the thing, because I'm not saying that cannot happen, because you can have a 700 credit score and not get funded. But what it was is that they're taking people to these payday loan credit places. See, they're telling people, hey, I'm going to make it so easy for you to get this capital. They're taking you to the payday loans for business funding, the payday loans of business funding. And so I'm going to tell you the top 5 places you can go today to start getting funded. But before I get to that, I want to tell you places that you want to be careful for when you're going to get funding. And then we're going to talk about how to actually use the funding, because nobody is talking about debt servicing. Everybody type in the chat debt servicing. See, everybody is telling you how to get the credit, but nobody's telling you how to service the debt. And that, to me, is the most important component of it, which is why you have so many people in bad places financially, because there are so many people who went out and got all of this funding, but nobody's teaching you the next steps to utilize the funding for. Okay, so a couple places I'm gonna tell you guys to stay away from. And now, not saying that these places are bad places to get capital from, is that for the average business is not in place to service the debt from some of these companies. Okay, so one of the first places, Blue Vine. Somebody follow me along in this chat. Type Blue Vine in the chat. See, Blue Vine, a lot of these companies, they do what is called bank statement lending. Okay, bank statement lending. This is where they don't care about your credit. What they will do is they will take your bank statements and give you an approval up to a percentage of whatever your gross revenues were for your company. But here's the thing that they don't tell you. Or the Swaggy P business credit guru won't tell you. These are what are called short-term business credit, short-term business lines of credit. Somebody type that in the chat. They're short-term business lines of credit, where typically the term is anywhere from 6 to 18 months for all of these that I'm about to name. So for 6 to 18 months, if you get approved for 10,000, 25,000, 15,000, you have to pay that back within that 6 to 18 month window. What does that look like in real time? Okay, so in real time, if you were to borrow $15,000 from one of these short-term business lines of credit companies like Blue Vine, and I'm gonna go over the other 4 here shortly, at an 18% interest rate, okay, at an 18% interest rate on a 12-month term, okay, on a 12-month term, your average monthly payment is going to be about $3,000. Let me say that again. If you were to borrow $15,000 at an 18% interest rate on a 12-month term, who knows what 12-month term means? A 12-month term means you have to pay it back within 12 months. You don't have an infinite amount of time. You have to pay the total amount back within 12 months. So that means you have 12 months to pay back $15,000 at an 18% interest rate, because these companies don't give you 0% interest. Your monthly payment is $3,000. Okay. So now when you break down simple math, and when you look at your personal expenses, when you look at what your business expenses, when you look at what your business potentially is or is not making in the beginning, can your business debt service $3,000 a month right now? And that's a question you want to ask yourself. Now, when we're looking at this from a real estate standpoint, because of course we utilize a lot of this creative financing for real estate. And let's say you are going to use a hard money lender. Okay, so you use a hard money lender. You're already going to be paying 12-13% on the acquisition money for the deal. Keep in mind, when you use a hard money lender, you still have to bring money to the table. So could you imagine, let's just say you went and borrowed $25,000 on a short term at 18% and had to pay it back in 12 months. Now you're looking at about, let's just say you're looking at, $15,000 your monthly payment would be. That deal now no longer makes sense. And see, now, not saying this is what a lot of people are doing, but these are the type of loans or business lines of credit that they are promoting that you can get into easily with having bad or little to no credit. And these are the type of lines I'm trying to prevent you from getting in. Let me go ahead and name these other four. You have cabbage. Cabbage is another one that you want to be conscious of. You have funding circle. Funding circle is another one. What's your opinion? People saying use cash instead of debt to purchase. I tell people, John, you got to use whatever works for you. I don't like using my cash. I like using credit. So you got to use whatever works for you. So you got cabbage. You have funding circle. You have on deck. And then you have credibility, or credibly, excuse me. So you have blue vine, cabbage, funding circle, on deck, and credibly. These are the top 5 banks that are easy to get into, but the money is harder to get out of because most people cannot service the debt for these type of loans. Now, I'm going to go over the top 5 banks you can get into with having a brand new entity that are easier to get funded for. But these are actual banks that have no term. Everybody write in the chat, no term. See, the difference between when your money is termed versus when your money is untermed makes a whirlwind of a difference when it comes to your monthly payment. See, when your money is termed, if you borrow $10,000, then that's when your payment is lower. Excuse me, when there's no term. This is why a lot of people like business credit cards, because your money doesn't have a term. And I'm gonna go over some numbers of what that dollar amount will look like. What that dollar amount will look like when you're utilizing it on a business credit card, when there's no term involved. Okay, when your money is termed, when you have to pay it back in 12 months, when you have to pay it back in 18 months, when you have to pay it back in 24 months, that shortens the time period when you have to pay that money back, which means that your payment is going to be substantially higher. So for a lot of us who are investors, for a lot of us who utilize revolving credit to invest into real estate or into businesses or into doing business deals, it gives us the flexibility to just make sure we can cover the debt servicing until we have our exit strategy on that particular deal. So I'll give you an example. So let's say I was to go and do a real estate deal utilizing creative financing. Okay, which creative financing also means I may go and find a private money lender. Somebody type in the chat, private money lender. Okay, so I may go find a private money lender and I may borrow, let's say, $20,000 from that private money lender. Okay, or let's just say I'm gonna use a line of, let's say I'm gonna use a line of credit instead, since today we're solely talking about credit. Okay, so we're solely talking about credit, and then I'll talk about a private money lender here shortly. So I'm gonna go and borrow $20,000 to cover some gap funding on this particular deal. Now that $20,000 may cost me, at 0% interest, it may cost me $200. Okay, that $20,000 may cost me $200 per month because I'm using a 0% interest card. Okay, so now here's the power of leveraging credit when the money doesn't have a term. So I did a deal with someone. I borrowed $20,000. Let me use a real life scenario. So let me give you guys some details. So I have my credit card here, okay, and I'm going to borrow $20,000 from this credit card. So now, once I borrow $20,000 from this credit card, my monthly payment is going to be $200 a month. Okay. Now I'm using that 20,000 to invest in somebody else's real estate project. I'm using that 20,000 to invest in somebody else's real estate project. Okay. I'm just covering what is called the gap lending. I'm doing gap lending. Somebody type gap lending. Okay. I'm showing you how to make money off of your credit today. Okay. I'm going to show you how to make money off of your credit. And this is what another thing that I teach. Okay. So I took $20,000 from my credit line. I'm going to put that 20,000 to cover the gap lending for these investors who is rehabbing this project right here. Okay. That $20,000 is going to cost me $200 a month. This person, I've created the terms for them to pay the $200 a month. Okay. I'm going to make them pay the $200 a month. Okay. Now they said that this deal will be done in 6 months. They said, well, we only need the 20,000 for 6 months. So I'm going to make them pay the $200 over that course of that 6 months. So if we do the math and calculate what that 200 times 6 months would be, that's what the total amount will be. But now, because I already know what my exit strategy is, we've already calculated that I'm going to get a 20% return. So they're going to make the $200 monthly payments, which comes out to $1,200 in total. And then I'm going to charge them 20% on to use this money. So I've calculated what my exit strategy is. Now, you may ask, well, Will, how do I protect the 20,000 on this credit? Well, what I'm going to do is we're going to write up paperwork that we're then going to send to the title company, where I'm going to be either first or second position. Odds are I'm going to be second position because they're using a hard money lender who's going to want to be in first position. That means the person in first position gets first right of refusal, meaning if they don't sell this property in X amount of months, that hard money lender can take that property from them. I'm in second position, which means that when the deal gets sold, I eventually will get my money back. So the property is the collateral that's going to tie my 20,000 for the gap lending to this property. So now $200 a month. I have an exit strategy because they're going to sell this property. They're going to pay me my 20%, and then I can pay my 2,000. I can pay the $20,000 off on this card. Okay, so now let me tell you why having one of those companies like Cabbage may be a bad idea. Okay, so now let's say I use a company like Cabbage. Okay, and I borrow $20,000. at 12-month term at an 18% interest rate. Now that $20,000, that payment may come out to, let's just say, $15,000 a month. So could you imagine loaning $15,000 payments on a 6-month term for a real estate deal doing short-term gap lending? It doesn't make sense. And so what I'm trying to do is to help you to visualize why you want to put yourself in a position to get access to money that is not termed when you're doing what is called your soft cost or your investment cost. You don't want your money termed when you're leveraging credit for business deals, business structuring, or even real estate, soft cost. You don't want the money termed. Okay. Now, let me show you how to use revolving credit when you're just running a business. Okay. So, same $20,000. We're going to take $20,000 off this business credit card. And let's say you need to pay for your marketing campaign. Let's say you need to pay for, hiring a virtual assistant or whatever the case may be. Okay. So how much are you ending up with after the 20% back? You are moving too fast. 20%. I put a 20% premium on my 20,000. So what is 20% of 20,000? It's $4,000. So for holding my money for 6 months, I made $4,000 plus my $20,000 back that was able to cover the cost of the money from here. Good question, Casey. Casey Smith asked, how much money will I end up with once they pay me back? Because I charged them 20%, I'm going to make $4,000 plus my $20,000 back, and then I can pay my card off. I walk away with $4,000, and now I have credit on here again where I can go and repeat that process all over again. Okay. So now let's say you borrow $10,000 to run your business. Okay. You got some startup costs. Here's for all of my people who are brand new business owners, and you're looking for startup capital. Let me tell you why revolving credit is going to be your best friend. Okay. Startup capital. So let's say I go and borrow $10,000. Let's say, so I got my credit intact. I have my LLC, and then I went and got approved for a business credit card. Okay. It doesn't necessarily have to be an American Express. I'm just using this for a visual. So I got a brand new business credit card. I'm going to borrow $10,000 from this business credit card. Okay. It's not going to show on my personal credit. It's only going to show on my business. And again, if you're just following me, I'm looking at two different screens. I don't want y'all to think something wrong with my eyes. I'm just looking at two screens. All right. So $10,000 for my business credit card at 0% interest. Okay. Here's how you can fund your startup today. Or here's how you can get some startup capital so you can finally get off the ground today. Okay. So now at $10,000 at 0% interest, my payment is going to be about $108 per month. 10,000, 0% interest is $100 to $108 a month. Okay. That's how much your monthly payment is going to be. Okay. So now let's say it takes you 6 months to get your wheels turning within the business. Let's say it takes 6 months for you to really start making some money within your business. How much have you paid into that business credit card after 6 months? Remember, hopefully you guys are writing this down. You borrowed $10,000 from your business credit card. You're at a 0% interest rate. The monthly payment on that $10,000 is only $108 a month. So after 6 months, it's cost you $650 or $656. Now, remember, your monthly payment is $108. So now this is why it's important to still have income while you are running your business. So for those who are quitting their job too soon, what happens is you put yourself in a bad position because you're trying to figure out how to service this debt when you have no income coming in. But when you're at least having some clients, or you at least have your W-2 income, you are at least putting yourself in the best position to win by borrowing $108 by paying back $108 a month on that $10,000, because it's at 0% interest. This gives you enough time. This gives you enough runway to run for you to build up your audience, build up your clientele, build upon on your branding, because it's only cost you $600 over the course of that 6 months. That's the power of leveraging credit when you know the math. How do you get approved with a brand new biz? I'm going to answer that here shortly, so make sure you stay tuned. Now, here's the downfall when you use a company like Cabbage in your brand new business. You go and borrow $10,000 from Cabbage or Blue Vine or Funding Circle or On Deck, and that $10,000 is termed, and they only give you the money for, let's say, 12 months at an 18% interest rate, because they won't let you borrow money at 0% from those companies. So now that $10,000 at 18% is costing you, let's say, $2,000 a month. So let's do the math. You still need the same 6 months ramping period to build your business. How much is that $2,000 over 6 months going to cost you? Somebody do the math on that. What's $2,000 times 6? $2,000 times 6. So 2,000 times 6 months. So that's $12,000. See, this is why I say this stuff is 5th grade math when you know the numbers. So would you rather spend $12,000 to build your business off the ground, or would you rather spend $600 to get your business off the ground? This is why we have to know this stuff. This is why we have to know what to look out for. This is why we have to stop falling in these traps of these predatory credit gurus who are walking people down financial ruin. Because the average business cannot service the debt on $2,000 a month, especially as a brand new business. Or if you can, guess where that money is coming from? Out of your bank account. So now after 6 months, your personal bank account is $12,000 lighter, and you still don't have a client. Why? Because you've been so stressed out on trying to figure out how are you going to service the $2,000 a month. See, this is why creative financing and doing it the right way is crucially important. Stay tuned. I'm going to tell you guys the 5 banks to go to and how to get $250,000 in the next 45 days. Yes, this live will be saved. This live will be saved. But see, these are the points nobody ever think about. I'm trying to show you guys how to make business decisions when it comes to the business credit. See, a lot of us are making emotional decisions when it comes to having business credit. Highway robbery unless it's guaranteed turnaround. I'm with you, Casey. But why even put yourself in that situation if you don't have to? Now, are there instances where you may have to use one of those companies? Yes, but I typically don't recommend it until your business is already making money. Will these banks be good for first-time businesses? Humble Grinder, absolutely. The banks that I'm about to mention, or the cards I'm going to mention, are solely for people who have brand new LLCs. Who have brand new LLCs. And then I'm going to have a free offer for everybody who wants to participate. Free offer. Okay. So now let me tell you why people who leverage credit the right way will always win when it comes to real estate. If you would like to know why people who understand how to leverage credit win in real estate more than anybody else, if you would like to know how they win, type the number 1 in the chat. If you would like to know why people who have business credit, who have the right type of business credit, and who knows how to leverage it the right way, why they always win, and why real estate is so much easier, and why I have people who are 22 years old inside my REI 90 program get their close on their first property in less than 2 months. How I can have somebody who's closing on their sixth deal inside my REI 90 program. That's because they understand the concept of leveraging credit the right way. These are the concepts I teach inside my REI 90 because they are not overspending in the first place. That is definitely one reason too. That is definitely one reason as well. So now let me tell you how they're able to do that. Okay. And I'm going to give you guys some math. Okay. So now when it comes to real estate, all right, when it comes to real estate, the thing we have to understand is that it's all math. Somebody type, it's all math. See, it's all math. But here's what ends up happening. We have too many people who get into real estate or try to go into business, period. And they think that they're going to get rich fast because of what they've seen online or the stories they've heard. Can you make money? Absolutely. But if you don't calculate your risk, it's going to be impossible to get to the levels of success that you want to get to. How do you join REI 90? Send me a direct message and I'll have somebody reach out to you from the team and at least get you some information. Okay, so now let's say you have a house. Okay, we're going to draw this real fancy mansion right here. Okay, so now for the sake of math, we're going to say this house is $100,000. Okay, this house, this mansion is $100,000. Now, you only got to come up with 80%, with 20%. You only have to come up with 20% down. Okay, 20% down for this property, which means the bank is going to cover $80,000 for this mansion. Okay, the bank is going to cover $80,000 for this mansion. So now, if you have to go and borrow $20,000 on your 0% at 0% for 12 months, let me show you how this math looks. So $20,000 that I'm going to borrow to buy this $100,000 property at 0% interest may cost me $250 a month. Okay, it's going to cost me $250 a month. Now, at today's interest rate, that $80,000 at about let's just say 9% interest. Okay, 9% interest, because we show you how to. You're only going to put the deals under your business. Okay. Now, we're not concerned about the interest rate. We're concerned about the deal. Okay, we're not concerned about the interest rate. We're concerned about the deal. So the interest, so the payment on the $80,000 is going to cost us, let's say, $850. Okay, in today's rate, our payment is $850. I know it's backwards. You guys should be writing this down yourself. Okay, so now, if we calculate the 850 plus the 250, that will now give us $1,100 a month in debt servicing. $1,100 a month in debt servicing. Now, the goal is not to get rich off of the first property. That's not the goal in real estate. The goal is to build a portfolio of properties over the next 5 years. The goal is to build a portfolio of properties over the next 5 years. And you let the cash flow pile up over that 5-year term. Now, here's the one thing that I want you guys to think about. Are all deals in the portal cash flowing, or do we still need to analyze? They're cash flowing, but you still want to analyze them. You still want to analyze them because I don't know how much what your interest rate is, what the cost of your money is going to be, et cetera, et cetera. So you still want to analyze it based upon where you are at. Okay, so now here's the thing to keep in mind. This $250 isn't forever because remember, this is at 0% interest for 12 months. So let's say after 6 to 9 months, I can refinance this property. And so now I'm going to refinance the property, and then I'm going to get enough cash to be able to pay the credit card off. So now this $250 goes away, and now it adds into my loan. And so now let's just say it takes my total loan, because now I've refinanced to $950. Okay. But this property is paying us, let's just say, $1,500 a month. So I'm still making money. This is why people who leverage credit win in real estate. But here's what ends up happening. You have a lot of people who get into real estate thinking they're going to make $1,000 off of one property, net positive. That is not how real estate works. I want you to look at real estate as a 5-year plan. Look at real estate as a 5-year plan. And we want to work really hard so that you can stack up assets over the next 5 years, long enough so that way the properties can pay for themselves, cover the debt at 0% interest, and we just wash and repeat the money, so forth and so on. And you continue to, and now you've created your own bank. That's how real estate is to be used. Not for you to leave your job in 90 days. Not for you to leave your job in 12 months. Now, can it happen? Absolutely. But I'm showing you on the lowest spectrum on how people who leverage credit the right way can do deals. I just told you about one of my mentees, Justin Isidore, who did 6 deals this year alone, utilizing this strategy. That's how simple this is. So now let me tell you the banks you can go to, or what cards you can go to. All right. So one of the first cards I would go and apply for. Cash flow is what is left over after taxes, reserves, insurance, mortgage. Yes, great point. So now let me tell you what banks I would go to. Now, you still got to have good credit. You got to have good credit. This isn't for people with bad credit. If you got bad credit, go to Blue Vine. Okay, if you got bad credit, you can go there, but don't tell them I sent you. All right, so now, if you got a brand new LLC, where you can go right now and apply for these banks. You want to have at least a 700. Okay, you can go to Inc. You can go to Chase and apply for the Chase Inc. Business Cash Card. Chase and apply for the Chase Inc. Business Cash Card. Okay, another one. Bank of America, Business Advantage Cash Rewards MasterCard. The Bank of America, Business Advantage Cash Rewards MasterCard. Next, Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo. Right now, I'm telling you, these are like loose slot machines. If you have good credit, you got your company set up, these are the banks that will usually approve you. Instant approvals, just like that. Wells Fargo, Business Cash Card. What if you have a 700 credit score with missed payments? Well, you may want to reach out to my team and have them fix your missed payments. You may want to reach out to my team and have them fix your missed payments. Here's another one. Whoever you already have a business banking relationship with. Did you guys know that banks who you have a relationship with, even if your credit has a few blemishes, are more prone to give you credit? Why is that? Because they can already see your money coming in, even if it's from your personal bank account. Do you recommend having an established account with each of these banks? Eventually, yes, because banks like to do business with people who they have relationships with. Banks like to do business with people who they have relationships with. So whoever you personally bank with, if you have a relationship with Navy Federal, with Wells Fargo, with BOA, with Chase, with whoever, go and apply for a business credit card with them today. You said Wells Fargo Business Cash. Wells Fargo doesn't have any available credit cards. So are you referring to something else? For their business credit cards, for their business credit cards, do you help rebuild? Do you help rebuilding credit? Yes. Now, if your business is at least 2 years with Wells Fargo, you can actually even go and apply for a business line of credit. You can apply for a business line of credit. Okay, a business line of credit. All right, next, you can go to Digital Federal Credit Union. Will a 650 work? You gotta apply. Now, I'm gonna give you guys an opportunity to see what you qualify for here today, but you gotta stay tuned. I'm gonna help you guys get pre-qualified here today if your credit score is a little shaky. Digital Federal Credit Union. Federal Credit Union. I know everybody's talking about Navy Federal this, Navy Federal that. Trust me, DCU is one of the top credit unions. They also will let you apply for an auto loan under the business. So these are banks where you can go to and apply with a brand new company today. Now, here's what I'm going to do. I have an offer for you guys. If you guys DM me the word SCAN, SCAN, if you DM me the word SCAN, we will do a free scan for your business to see what you are pre-qualified for with business funding, and it will not impact your credit. If you DM me the word SCAN, 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 we're going to scan your business. We will do a free scan to see where you are at and send you a pre-approval. And if you are not pre-approved, we tell you exactly what you have to do to fix your credit. We tell you exactly what you have to do to fix your credit. We're going to do this completely free. You can DM me on Instagram, or you can DM me on Facebook. Let me drop my Instagram name on YouTube. If you go to Instagram and send me the word SCAN, SCAN, we will do a free data scan to see what you pre-qualify for. It does not impact your credit. And if you don't qualify, we tell you exactly what you have to do to fix it. And then I'll do one even better for you guys. What we're also going to do is we're going to also do a data scan of your business to see if your company meets all of the data points that the business is looking for, completely free. So if you DM me the word SCAN, SCAN, we're gonna see what you pre-qualify for when it comes to business credit. And if you don't qualify, we'll tell you exactly what you need to do to get qualified. And then we're going to do a data scan of your business to see what data points you are missing, or if you have all of the data points. We're going to eliminate the guesswork for you. So now you don't have to go out there and try to figure out where you stand. You don't have to go out there and get a bunch of useless inquiries. We're going to do all of the work for you to let you know if your business is bank compliant and what you qualify for to get approved for business credit. What need to put in our business in the DM? Just type in the DM, just type the word SCAN and we'll do the rest from the DM. Now, let me show you how simple it is to get $50,000 in the next 45 days. You personally can do that if you meet all of the data points. You can get up to 250,000 in the next 45 days if you meet all of the data points. Now, if you don't meet the data points, you're not going to get to 250. Now, one thing I've learned, well, one of the many things I've learned in business, you can run very fast alone, or you can run, or you can get further together. And together, if you were to bring on credit partners, literally, you get five of you are credit partners. If all five of you got approved for $50,000, that's 250,000 in business credit. At 250,000 in business credit, you can take half of that, at least 100,000, and get $1 million investment property. Excuse me, $500,000. You can get $500,000 because we don't want to use the whole 250. So with 100,000, you can get a $500,000 rental property. And in some of the markets where I'm showing people where to go, 500,000 can get you more than one property. I've had clients buy rental portfolios with several properties in there for up to 500,000. Some people have just gotten one commercial building. So the power is in the numbers. Is this funding for an established entity or brand new? It's for both. Your entity can be 1 day old and we'll do a free scan for you. If your business is at least 1 day old, we'll still do a scan for you. Next, two people. It's only two people come together, 125,000 in funding. That gives you 250. Now, do you got to meet the data points? Yes. Do you got to have good credit? Yes. Do your inquiries need to be low? Yes. But instead of trying to figure it out, send me a direct message and we'll do a scan for you and we'll tell you exactly what you need to qualify for. Can we have you scan more than one business? If you contact me today, yes, we'll scan more than one. We'll scan more than one. So this is simple. Will it require some work? Yes. Will it require for you to be in position? Yes, but it can be done. Katina.
Hi, Will.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. I wanted you to come on here real quickly as we wrap up and let people know, what did you recently get approved for credit?
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. So I recently got approved for, I think,
115,000. Now, when you first came over, you didn't even think you was in position, did you?
No.
Didn't even think.
I mean, right. My credit was in position, but there was too much, the debt to income. And my business was brand new, no financials, but I had over a 700 credit score. So within a matter of a few days, I got approved for 5 different, the credit cards that you mentioned, or at least most of the credit cards that you mentioned.
Definitely. Now you talked about at first you had too much debt. We actually had to put together a strategy for you to be able to get that down. Talk about not necessarily what you had to do, but how instrumental that strategy was for you to be in a position where you are now.
So when I first start talking to Will, he kind of looked over my financials and we came up with a plan. So basically I had to pull a home equity line of credit, which I was fortunate enough to be in that position to be able to pull money from a property that I own. So We did that and kind of paid my debt down. That way it was more manageable, and so that I can have more money coming in that I could see a month. So I was kind of like in over my head at one point. So we kind of got me out of that position to, where at least I had enough money coming in to service my debt and, pay whatever else I needed to pay for. So once that happened, once my credit kind of stabilized after we did the HELOC, that's when we went in and started going for the funding.
Definitely. And so I just wanted you to hop on just so people know that this type of stuff is possible. The strategies are possible. It does take some work. It does take the person being coachable and being vulnerable enough to share what it is they're actually going through, and know that, yeah, you may have to do some tweaking, but once you're in position forever. And so appreciate you coming on, Katina. I know you're ready to start looking at some properties and go real estate shopping. So thank you. And just keep doing your thing.
Bring me back next year, because it's going to be a whole different conversation. And just to encourage everybody, just go out there, try it. Like, let's stop waiting for whatever we're waiting for. So just take action. Don't, let's not live in this fear mindset anymore. And we're already broke, doing bad. Like, what's the worst that can happen? So
just like that. Well, I appreciate that, Katina. Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Bye. So this is really, now, when I use the word simple, the execution is simple. The hard part is you thinking that you're not in position. Let's eliminate the emotions and eliminate the feelings, and let the software do the thinking for you. I know I have people right now who never thought that they were in position, and we sent them through the data scan to figure out, oh, they were at least being able to be approved for this. Oh, you got 4 other people you could bring to the table. Oh, you got 3 other credit partners, or you got to fix your credit. We offer, credit coaching, where we can walk you through the process and help you get your credit reestablished. Oh, you got too many inquiries. Just spoke to somebody today, 41 inquiries. They can't go nowhere and get any credit until they address those inquiries. So guess what? They're going through our process and getting those inquiries cleaned up, and now we're going to get them in position. Richard, can you hop on real quick as I get ready and hop off this live? So just know, guys, every Friday I will be going live again. We're going to come on talking about funding strategies, real estate strategies, credit strategies, how to put yourself in a better position today. What's going on, man?
What's going on? Let me turn my camera around. My bad.
No, you good.
There we go.
What's going on, sir?
Not much. How you doing?
Oh, man, I'm good, man. Thank you for hopping on. Just wanted you to come on here because I know, you and I had to kind of restructure your strategy for you to get in position. And you actually went through the process. We got you some funding, which is now putting you in another position to get to that next level so we can keep going. What was it that helped you to mentally get over that roadblock so that you can proceed?
It was just, as a business owner, a lot of times we have the mindset of like, hey, I got to do this alone. I got to do this by myself. I. And, being in the REI 90 program, I learned that it's all about just booking a strategy call and have someone to give you a different perspective on your situation. I think that's what helped me get over my mental block.
Definitely. And so with that being said, once you actually got in the ecosystem, how simple has having access to these softwares made your decision making?
Man, it's like you said, King, it's 5th grade math. Like, it's literally that simple. It's like you eliminated the guesswork for everything. Like, I know how to evaluate a deal. I know where my situation is. I know how to, watch out for my DTI. so I don't over leverage myself. It's really simple.
Definitely. And it's been a game changer for you and even your business outside of real estate, correct?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like I think differently now as a business owner, because of REI 90. Because, and let me say this, like REI 90 to me, it's not just about real estate. Like it's life game. Like you teach a lot of life game, and you groom people to be the the CEO or the investor. So yeah.
No, I appreciate that, Richard, man. We'll definitely appreciate you tapping in. And then if it's anything else, you need from us, let us know. But more importantly, I guess I'll see you in Vegas at the next event, man.
I'm there, man.
Absolutely, man. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
All right.
So are you trying to get 250,000 in the next 45 days? All you got to do is just follow the steps. It's called a blueprint for a reason, but you got to be willing to follow the blueprint. I've given you guys a foolproof way to at least see where you are. All you have to do is DM me the word scan. Somebody from my team will reach out to you. We're going to send you the link. We're going to send you where we're going to scan your business, and we're going to do a pre-qualification. It does not impact your credit, and we'll let you know how much you are pre-approved for, and if you're not, what you need to do to fix it. And I promise you, you get it fixed, you're in position. Or you can come back and say, oh, Will, I'm not in position today, but I have a credit partner. So then we're going to scan your credit partner's information. You're going to add them to your company. We're going to create the operating agreement, and then you can still get the funding. Did you guys know you can do that as many times as you want? You can literally go set up a brand new entity today or Monday and add somebody to that company and go ahead and start this process over. The event is going to be in March. We're still working on the dates. We're planning around March Madness and all of this other stuff. But definitely be on the lookout. I am working on putting together a private Super Bowl event that we are at the final stages of the negotiation of the location. I can't release the names of people who are going to be there yet, but it will be a private event. So just make sure y'all stay tuned, have your notifications on, all that good stuff. So with that being said, DM me the word SCAN, SCAN. Let's help you get up to that 250,000. Yes, it's going to require some work. Yes, your credit's got to be in position. But hey, you may have to bring in several credit partners. But it gives you 250,000 that you didn't have previously. Okay, so let's get this funding. Let's go fund some deals. Grow your business, start your business, go invest in other businesses, but let's get this capital and go out here and really change our lives and live the life that we said we wanted to live last December 31st, when we were toasting up that champagne. So make sure you guys give me a scan, and I will see you guys on the other side. Peace.